from spirit, like a drop of water separates from the ocean. Only that in some religions, this process of rejoining is seen differently. We'll discuss that just a little bit. Religion is an extremely important aspect of culture. Probably the reason is because most people realize that life is, how shall we put it, bonus. Most people don't put it that way, of course. But most people realize that, most people feel that. Because as you grow up, you start reflecting, boy, I'm always going to live like 80 years or 90 years, and I'll be gone and forever, and what does that mean? So it's always in the back of everyone's mind. But hardly anyone extends that thought to, boy, if life is fleeting, and it doesn't mean that it's meaningless too. Because what's the purpose of being here? Most people don't take that next step. And so they know this, that life is fleeting, life is bogus. But then they set that aside so that they can get involved with life and seek pleasure while they're alive, have families, they seek to have money and so on and so forth. And it's an interesting kind of dualistic way of life. On one hand, you know that life is not worth living, and yet you're trying to live life anyway as if it is worth living. You try to have a family, you try to have children, so you can have progeny, they can go keep on going after you're gone for who knows what purpose. So they can die too and cause more pain to more people. So have children and then they can have more hundreds of thousands of years of people coming into existence for no reason and dying and having suffering. And there are different levels of suffering. You can suffer physically. You can lose an arm or a leg. You can get a war zone and have your shoulder blown off. Have a cannon shot through your chest, so that your guts are hanging on the floor, and then you're looking at your guts, what's the hell going on? And then you slip over and you die. What's the purpose of life when you die? It seems funny, but how funny the people that do that. So we're talking about a sample of the ridiculousness and the foolishness of the world, and thinking about the world as if it's something worthwhile. So a sample of worthwhile as a reality in and of itself, like a physical reality that allows us to think that we are physical realities and that we have some worth beyond our illusory existence. That's what I mean. And in essence, I'm not saying that the world is not a wonderful place from the standpoint of it is a miracle, it is a magical, it is a wonderful creation of the divine. But the way people take it belittles that glory, is what I'm saying. But if you look at the human body and the miracle of the human body, how the human body turns, like our breakfast, through breakfast on one point, it turns that into energy, and it turns into consciousness, of conscious ability, shall we say, to experience the world. These are miracles. These are wonderful things. Scientists don't even know how it works. They can explain some of the things. Well, I'm not talking about that one. I'm talking about the philosophical aspect of the world as an abiding reality that is worthwhile from an egoistic perspective, from a sentimental perspective. Oh, well, we're going to have children, and we're going to, and we might live like thoughts we're going to live forever, and we're going to walk into the sunset, and this is real, and we're going to love each other, and there's never going to be any pain in the world, and we're going to have a wonderful time. All that is a ridiculous notion. But people know that intrinsically, and yet they can't take the full steps to discover the realization that comes when you relinquish your sentimental notions about the world. This is where the problem comes in. This is just a very quick on a visit to Benin, Pope John Paul II apologized for centuries of denigration of African religion by the Western culture. Up until the 1960s, especially the Western world religions have denigrated and discounted African religion as a religion. Before that, it was officially considered superstition at best, and primitive notions of religion at worst, I guess you might say. One of the reasons that they cited, that the early missionaries, when they were going into Africa, cited, was that the Africans didn't have a word for religion. That proves that you don't have religion. That's like if you can play music, but you don't know how to read music, that means you're not a musician. Right? If you can talk, but you can't read, it means that you're an imbecile. You're a fool. You're mentally retarded. It's a ridiculous notion. And there's a kind of logic that was used for that. But nevertheless, discounting that notion itself, ancient Egypt contained a word or a term called Shetan Meter that means religion in terms of modern interpretation anyway. So this is an idea that is noticed as well. That's the hieroglyphic text for the term Shetan Meter. Shetan Meter is going to details as to what it means. And I talked about this a little bit. We'll go through it just a bit. Here's all of our happiness. We have our mates, and we feel so happy and feel lucky. And we don't think how when we're 20 years old, everything's so wonderful and the world is so vibrant. But then when you get to be 40, then things start slowing down a bit. If you get to live that long, you have your children, and everything's so smiley and everything's so wonderful until they get sick or they get killed or something. You're playing your basketball unless you have ill health and you can't play anymore and you get an injury. You're at work and everything's so wonderful. You have your suit and tie and you think that you're a great personality. You're a God's gift to the world. You get your house. You're exercise and you're being community and you think that you're so well protected. You got your nice little sports car so you can run around and feel that you control the world and the road. And then you run out of gas, you're standing on the road, and you're the guy wearing his suit, now he takes off his jacket, now he has to get back into the world to sleep. And you're at work, and then here somebody comes in. You're not so on top of the world anymore. You have somebody's on top of you telling you what to do, and then your stuff is not good enough. And this is what it's called searching for oneself in the world. You search for yourself through your spouse. You search for yourself through your progeny, through your body, thinking that you're going to be so healthy forever. When you're young, you don't think about it. Then one day you can't move so well, but you want to think that you're young anyway, so you start hanging out with young people, and then you start thinking that you're a jerk, but they don't tell you that to your face, so you don't grow up. And then the big house that you may need